The question is, can women take the role of guru and give diksha?
It is not totally forbidden,
Okay.
but only in extraordinary circumstances.
Extraordinary circumstances it is allowed. Okay.
Very important thing is, first and foremost thing,
Okay.
in the human system,
Okay.
the system of the human is different from the system of the male.
Okay.
That everybody knows.
Right.
Because males cannot keep their child in the room.
Right.
Is it? Is
Right.
it possible?
Not
It's
possible.
not possible. So God has created women and men for different purposes. That
Okay.
has to be understood.
Right.
But at the same time, there are certain women who can transcend all these physical disabilities.
Okay.
And they can also give Diksha, but not all the people.
Not all the women.
Exception should not become the rule.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling.
Right.
First, exception is only in extraordinary circumstances.
Right.
There is a beautiful statement in Sanskrit, Apat kale nasti maryada.
Okay.
When the whole world is getting doomed,
Mm-hmm.
then you cannot think of anything.
Right.
Even from a Shudra, you can learn something.
Right. Correct.
But is Shudra entitled to teach?
Right.
Yes, he is entitled to teach, and he is not entitled to teach. Both I say.
Both are right. Yeah.
From that point of view, what happens? Only in extraordinary circumstances that certain things have been prescribed.
Mm.
Generally, what happens? Most of the males and females cannot totally transcend the limitations of their physical system.
Mm.
Am I right or wrong?
Right. Right. Absolutely.
So, from that point of view, if you make it a general rule, yes, everybody can give Diksha.
Mm.
So, every Tom, Dick, and Harry will give you Diksha. That should not happen.
Right.
So, from my point of view, what happens? There are certain people who are outstanding,
Mm-hmm.
and there are certain situations which demand, and even ladies should propagate the religion or give initiation, etc., etc.
Mm.
So, don't make an exceptional rule a general rule. I am very emphatic about it.
Absolutely. We understood the point.
Many a times, what happens? In extraordinary circumstances, they will accept an exceptional rule.
Right.
And ultimately, all the people follow that, and the exception becomes the general rule.
General
and
rule.
General rule becomes the exception.
Absolutely. Correct.
In my community, I am telling nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring marriage invitations to me,
Mhm.
and when they give the invitation, I am asking her, "Have you given your daughter outside the community?" Is it not so? Yes, sir. Oh, then it is general rule. Okay,
Oh.
I accept it.
Right.
On the other hand, if you are giving inside the community, then it is an exception.
Exception. It becomes an exception.
Formerly, it was the exception. According to me, dharma is nothing but do's and don'ts
Right.
to protect a system.
Right.
So, a woman has to protect a system by observing these do's and don'ts. Why pranava is not to be given to the women?
Mm.
A sannyasin should chant pranava all the 24 hours. Because if you chant pranava perfectly, you will be sterilized. You will not have any instincts at all.
Okay.
Suppose the same thing happens to a woman. Who will bear the child? What happens to the country?
Right.
I am talking to you in a very scientific manner, that's what I
Right.
say.
Right.
And we don't know the power of pranava.
Mm.
And how it has to be pronounced, whether it is Ekamatra Kalika Pranava, Dvimatra Kalika Pranava, Trimatra Kalika Pranava. How many people know about the nuances?
Mm.
Without knowing if we enter into that particular field, then what happens? You may face several difficulties, who knows? So what I say is, when there is a sampradaya,
Right.
which is accepted from time immemorial,
Right.
just follow it unless it is absolutely necessary to change it.
Right.
So, just because women wants to have their own ego,
Right.
or they want to claim superiority, or they want to claim equality,
Right.
don't do it. Women are superior to men in so many ways, and men are superior to women in so many ways.
Right.
Both of them are superior from my point of view.
Correct.
I am telling you, Andal was considered to be the greatest of the sages. Among the Alvars, Andal is called Pinjai Paduthalai Andalai Vadutthai Maname. You know Tamil? Okay, you know Tamil now. So she matured at the age of 5 or at the age of 4, in the sense mentally. She became a great philosopher. And she would say, I would marry none other than Lord Ranganatha. Can everybody come to the level of Andal?
Impossible.
Impossible. She says, மானிடவர்க்கென்ன பேச்சுப்படில் வாழகில்லேன் கண்டாய் மன்மதனே. My breasts are meant for the Supreme Being. If my father says, I'll give this daughter in marriage to a particular human being, immediately I'll collapse and I will die. I'll die, that's what she says. I cannot stop it because automatically I'll die. When my father simply mentions, I want to give this daughter to a human being. If I hear that, immediately I'll collapse and die. That's what she says. So they're all outstanding people. If such outstanding people are there, automatically people will recognize.
Right.
This Sangharsha, as we call it.
Sangharsha.
This Sangharsha will not be there, whether they will do it or they are not do it, or
Right.
they can do it or they cannot do it, etc. This will not be there. And God has given such a wonderful capacity to everybody. Each one is unique in this world.
Right.
Have you ever seen two human beings who are totally identical?
No.
Can you think of creating such a person unless you do cloning? Even cloning, I don't know what happens.
Right.
No two human beings are absolutely similar or identical. Now, if God has got a design, if He is a very good designer, then has He got a specific purpose for that particular design or not? You please tell me. Or He is a madcap, creating in whatever way He wants to create. So every human being is carved out for a specific purpose according to his past karma. And then we have to understand that. And once we understand ourselves, everything will fall in line. Why I am born in a Brahmin family? Why I am made to take birth in a family where my father was a great spiritualist and also great religious leader, etc. So there is a specific purpose, I suppose.
Right.
If I understand that purpose, it's okay. Suppose I can also drink and I can also smoke. Then what happens? I can do that, but is it in line with what God has designed?
No.
So from that point of view, please try to understand yourselves.
Right.
Whether you are a male or a female, it doesn't very much matter. And where you are born, where you are living, what profession you are having, all these things are actually designed by God. So at that particular time, if we understand ourselves, what we have to do and what we should not do, we can very clearly understand. That's what I'm telling. So from that point of view, what I say is, there is a prescribed procedure so far we have followed. Try to follow it. Unless there is an absolute necessity to break it. If there is a necessity, just because some people are demanding there is a necessity, I will not say like that.
Right.
On the other hand, if there is a necessity, if there are no initiators among males,
Right.
and if such a thing happens, then what happens? If there is an evolved woman, why should she not do that?
Why should she not do that? Yeah.
Because there is an emergency, there is a necessity. What happens if there is absolute,
Necessity.
qualification and also that level of spirituality is there? Automatically people will go to such a lady and also they will get initiation.
Right.
Yes, correct.
Nobody may force it. So that is the thing. Why we respect Andal so much, you please tell me. And in our Sampradayam we say so much about Andal. She is the daughter of the 10 Alvars. And it is said Andal is superior to all these 10, though she was aged about 4 or 5. Because her parenting was so good. Periyalvar taught her Bhagavatam entirely within 4 years. So she became a real Bhagavata, and at the same time what happened? She wanted to live such a life. Then what happened? She has transcended the limitations of the physical body. Is it not so? Otherwise, would any girl say, I'll marry the Supreme Lord in Srirangam? That means she has transcended all those things. If you can have that transcendence, the limitations of the physical body, then you can do certain things. Then you ask one more important question. Are all the males entitled to initiate? In my case, I have initiated so many people to Sri Vaishnavism. When I think of my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, etc., in our parampara it comes, I am nowhere. But at the same time, who will do this job? It is a responsibility thrust on me. I should not shirk my responsibility. That's why I am doing it. I am not really qualified, that's what I will say. And every Acharya will always feel that he is not really qualified. That's also a very important point to be noted. Am I convincing?
Yes, yes.
So from that point of view, what happens? In Srivachana Bhushanam, it is very clearly stated, when an Acharya falls down from the precipice, when he falls to a ditch, the answer to this question is, when he has initiated somebody and thinks that he has initiated such and such a disciple into such and such a system, so he falls down. What he should think is, I am an instrument in the hands of my Acharya. My Acharya is instigating him, I am just a mouthpiece of my Acharya.
Correct. In regard to my old question about whether women can accept the position of Guru and can she take disciples, my question is, has there been any instance in Ramanuja Sampradaya in the past where any woman has taken a role of a Guru? Just any exceptional case?
One interest, if you go through the Guru Parampara of Shaiva Vaishnava Sampradaya, Shri is the Prathama Guru of Vishwaksena. She initiated Vishwaksena.
Okay. Okay.
But can they go up to that level? Lakshmi is considered to be
Guru.
Lakshmi Nathasamarambham Nathayamana Madhyama Masudacharya Priyantam Madhya Guru Parampara.
Okay.
So first Guru is Narayana.
Narayana.
Then Lakshmi is the next Guru.
Okay.
Then Vishwaksena is the next Guru.
Right.
Then Vishwaksena Nammalvar is the next Guru.
Right.
From Nammalvar then Nathamuni.
Right.
Etc. Etc.
Right.
So the second Acharya is Shri only.
Shri only is there already.
But what happens? Only at that particular time it was given. Only Shri can give. Can we assume the position of the Shri? Can a woman assume the position of the Shri? That's the question.
That's true.
As far as I have seen, there are two types of acharyas. This is the point to be noted.
Okay.
Uttaraka acharyas and upakaraka acharyas.
Okay.
Uttaraka acharya is a person who initiates a particular person into that particular system.
Okay.
So that he will get liberation.
Okay.
So Pancha Samskara is given in us. You might have heard of that.
Yes.
I don't know what Samskara is given in you.
Yeah.
So Pancha Samskara, branding etc. will be done and a new name will be given. And then the Bodhupundra is also given. Etc.
Right.
All those things are there. In the case of the Upakaraka Acharya, he will teach all the texts belonging to that particular system of philosophy. But an Upakaraka Acharya can never be an Uttaraka Acharya, and Uttaraka Acharya can never be an Upakaraka Acharya. Sometimes both Uttaraka Acharya and Upakaraka Acharya may be there. But Upakaraka Acharyas, even a woman can be Upakaraka Acharya, but not Uttaraka Acharya, as far as I know. So far it has not been done. Only in the case of Goddess Lakshmi it is accepted. That's the answer.
Okay. Next question is, are there any quotes in Shastras regarding women becoming a Diksha Guru? Any?
Probably I want to tell you one thing. Such situation has not arisen.
Such situation has not arisen. In history of...
They will ask one question. When I say coffee should not be drunk, is there any statement in the Shastras that you should not drink coffee?
I understand.
In the Shastras, they mention one particular thing. Prasajyasya iva pratishedaha.
Right.
When something has come up, then you can say, no, this should not be done. When such an issue has not come up, why do they forbid it?
Right.
It is impossible. You cannot assume something and say.
Correct, I understood. Now next question is, what will be the consequences when an unqualified woman becomes a Diksha Guru? What may be the impact on the society? On the whole system?
First and foremost thing is, the person who is initiated, he will not get liberation.
Okay.
He has taken initiation from a person who is not qualified. So he will not get liberation. And impact of the society, what happens? It's all, nowadays, it's an ego clash, nothing more than that, according to me. Now the Supreme Court has given certain judgments. I'll mention that, don't mistake me when I mention that. Now, the previous Supreme Court Chief Justice gave a judgment saying that woman does not belong to the man. So husband cannot command her. And if she wants to go with some other person, he cannot object to it also, he cannot fight it. She is not the property of the man who has married her. What is this nonsense? I don't understand it. Then where is the, what should I say, value for marriage? Sanctity for marriage. Everything is gone. And in almost all the Shastras, women are considered to be Paratantra. She should not be a Swatantra.
She should not be independent.
She should not be independent. When you have given economic independence, already this is gone. My Acharya used to say, Tamil you know? You know Tamil? So he used to say, பெண்கள் அவ பேர்ல பேங்க் அக்கௌண்ட் ஆரம்பிக்கப்படாது, ஆரம்பிச்சா போயிடுது, பாரதத்துல போயிடுது அப்படின்னு. That's what he used to say. That means I get economic independence. When once you get economic independence, it's gone. In the Varna system also what happens? Now you are saying Shudras should be given all the facilities, etc. So that economic independence has come. So other three Varnas are suffering. And if other three Varnas suffer, the whole world will suffer.
Right.
Brahmins cannot perform their dharma. And Kshatriyas cannot perform their dharma. Others cannot. So these Shudras are actually facilitating all the other three Varnas to do their duty. They were the facilitators. They are not doing it now. So ego has come. And everybody has become a Swamiji now. How many Swamijis are there? For Kurbas there is a Swamiji, for Gaudas there is a Swamiji, and so many other things are there.
Can you throw some light on what is this Stri Dharma?
Stri Dharma is, she should be just like the shadow of the male. And they are the two sides of the same coin. They can never be separated. If both of them are put together, they become one. That is the concept of Lakshmi Narayana, that is the concept of Ardhanarishwara. Can you separate Parvati from Shiva? Can you separate Lakshmi from Shivan Narayana? And if there are two sides of the same coin, can one side claim the superiority? For certain things this is important, for certain things that is also important. In fact, in many of my lectures I have stated, Shiva Vaishnava philosophy is it is not Shiva Vaishnava philosophy, it is Sri Vaishnava philosophy.
Sri Vaishnava.
Because we say Lord Narayana is supreme just because he is the husband of Sri. I used to tell my relatives also, my wife is called Goda. யார் அவர் அப்படின்னு கேட்டால் கோதானுடைய எஜமான் இருக்காரு அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் எனக்கு ரெக்கக்னிஷன் இல்லாத இல்லாத போட்டோம் அப்படின்னா ஐ ஹவ் நோ ரெக்கக்னிஷன்.
I know. What will be your message to ISKCON leaders regarding
ISKCON
this
leaders,
female Diksha?
Don't disturb any of the existing rules and regulations, first and foremost.
Okay.
And if such a Sri comes forth, who is extraordinary, and if such a situation arises when a woman has to initiate some people, it will happen on its own. Don't force it.
Right.
You are not expected to find a solution. God will find a solution.
Correct.
Who are you to find solutions? You are creating problems and then you say you want to solve the problems. So the problems have arisen only because of the ego clash, nothing more than that according to me. And many times what happens, when two Shishyas are there, both the Shishyas are good, they will clash among them, between themselves. Just because I am superior, I have to do initiation, I have to do initiation, etc. On the other hand, you listen to your own conscience and say whether you are right, you have got the right to do that, whether your Acharya decided it or not, then automatically it will be solved. So my feeling is, don't disturb the existing rules and regulations. Let them be there. If such a situation arises, then we will see. Now there is no such situation according to me. Do you find any dearth of males who cannot initiate now?
Correct. That is true.
That doesn't mean I am against women and I have no respect for women. I have told you so much about women.
Yes.
To tell you honestly, the male is just like a mriga. To make him a man, one is absolutely necessary. Think of all the insufficiencies and also shortcomings of males. He becomes a human being only because of that Sri. Otherwise he will not become a human being.